With the children
and
the staff.
and the children. So you want to maybe explain a little bit more of your role?
Sure. So I'm very lucky because I get to work with the young children and the teachers. And what I do is ensure that the teachers are following our curriculum, as well as finding ways to merge the children's ideas with the curriculum, with the learning.
Wow.
And we get to create projects, long-term projects within the classrooms. And they're all just for the children, like just the children's ideas, the children's interests.
About 5 components. The first one is the image of the child, community, using all of the community, not just the community of the school, but the community outside of the school. Also, the environment is the third teacher. And then collaboration with amongst the teachers. So we don't have the structure that we set up is teacher and teacher, and you will see other adults in the classroom with like blue aprons. Those are the students that learn alongside the teacher. So
like shadow.
yeah, so the idea of collaboration is the teachers become co-researchers with the children and the other adults in the classroom, so that we don't have a hierarchy of like a teacher and assistant to teacher, and so that way everyone has the same, pretty much the same role, and those teachers then are playing a mentor. They're playing like a mentor for the students. Yeah. College to take their 2 years of Cerritos College, and they already know what they want to be. They already know where they're going to go for their bachelor's degree and their master's degree. One person's going to go to Netherlands to do some work over there. So I think one of the things that I've noticed through this approach is, besides the children, they organically will know their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and recognize words and colors and things like that. But the most important is the critical thinking and the problem solving skills and the social emotional development that they are so able to lift themselves up no matter what. They if something happens, they're like, well, I'll figure it out, and they're not going to be not successful, and they love learning, and most parents that I've talked with over time that have come back with like second children. Oh, you had my child when now he's like in junior high, and now I have a baby from a second marriage, and they're bringing their little 2-year-old here. They're saying, oh, my son or my daughter, they're talented, and they act, and they do this and they do that, and they always say it's because of this approach, because the teachers have allowed the children to have their own, to be able to know who they are, and help them learn who they are. So that's why we call it the image of the child, where the child's image is celebrated no matter what. We have children here with challenging behaviors, with autism, with speech problems, and at first, yes, it's a little difficult for them to understand what is expected of them, but once we get support of the parents, and we get some outside resources for the children, and then the staff kind of work with the child, the children really do blossom, and you can see how that neurological disorder is changing in them, because they're getting the curriculum that they need for themselves. It's not like a canned curriculum. So.
are co-researchers with the children.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't just say, we're the teachers, this is the knowledge, we're giving it to you. Yeah, we're going to teach you. We don't necessarily do that. We try to set up the environment as a third teacher so that the children discover.
Mm-hmm.
They discover the knowledge because then it's more meaningful for them to learn it that way based on like constructivism. And the teachers have to step back and give space for the children to discover it. But you have to take an active part in like setting up the materials, setting up the environment, setting up, making sure all the tools that you use are going towards that learning goal. In addition to that, we have the 100 languages that is from Reggio Emilia, and that is more like the learning styles of all the children. That takes into consideration all of the learning styles. So if someone is communicates through fine arts, or someone is more like an architect and they like building, or if they're more scientific, like the children's talent, like their core talents, we take that in and help them strengthen their voices through that piece. So we call that the 100 languages. In and learn about the social skills, and then looking at the qualities and the characteristics of cardboard and what it can do, what it can't do, what its boundaries are, and they started creating all these projects through that. So they've been collecting cardboard boxes and boxes. So this looks like they're building with some boxes, so that they can build up with it. This was one of the boxes that got flattened, and they're drawing on it.
Sharon 进去那里面，我在
So
找。
we're using not just paints and woodworking and things. We're also looking at materials within our social environment. Everyone loves Amazon. So we have all the boxes that we're getting through the